Have you ever stood outside on a clear night and gazed up at the stars, feeling something more than just wonder? Maybe a sense of connection, something deep, almost unexplainable, as if you're part of something much bigger than yourself. That feeling, the one that stirs your soul and makes you question your place in the vast universe, isn't unique to you. Throughout history, ancient philosophers, mystics, and scientists have pondered the same sense of awe, the same longing for understanding. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe, this vast, boundless space that seems so distant and unknowable, might be hidden in one of the oldest spiritual traditions known to humankind? What if the answers to some of the deepest questions of existence, questions about life, the cosmos, and our place within it, could be found in a practice that's thousands of years old? Today, we're going to dive into a secret, a profound truth that connects the stars above to something far deeper, something far more intimate. A secret that has the potential to change the way you see not just the universe, but everything in your life. This isn't just about gaining knowledge. It's about having a profound shift in your perspective, a shift that could transform how you experience life itself. You see, the Buddhist tradition holds some incredible secrets that speak directly to the mysteries of the cosmos, and perhaps to the very nature of existence itself. These aren't just abstract concepts or ideas to ponder. They're keys to understanding the interconnectedness of all things, the hidden threads that bind us to the universe in ways we might never fully grasp. The Buddhist secret is the realization that everything in existence, from the tiniest grain of sand to the furthest star, is intricately connected in a cosmic dance that transcends time and space. Imagine that the universe you look at every night, the vast expanse of stars and galaxies, is not something separate from you. What if, in fact, it's part of you? You are made of the same elements that make up the stars, the same stardust that has traveled across eons to form life on this planet. In the Buddhist tradition, this is called interconnectedness, the understanding that we, and everything around us, are part of a single, vast whole. There is no separation between you and the universe. What you experience is intimately tied to the cosmos itself. But this realization doesn't just open your mind, it can open your heart. It's a secret that leads to compassion, to a deep sense of responsibility toward not only other people, but all living beings, and even the earth itself. When you understand that you are not separate from the universe, you begin to see that your actions, your thoughts, your choices ripple out and impact everything around you. So, what if the key to understanding the universe isn't just found in textbooks, scientific theories, or the study of distant stars? What if it's found in a simple shift in perspective, a shift that recognizes our deep connection to the cosmos? The Buddhist secret invites us to explore that very shift, to uncover the profound truths that lie hidden in plain sight, waiting for us to embrace them. The truth is, what you're about to discover is not just information. It's a way of seeing, a way of being, a way of living that brings you closer to the universe, to your purpose, and to the deep mysteries of life itself. So take a moment, breathe deeply, and join me as we dive into the Buddhist secret that has the potential to transform your life and the way you see the cosmos. It's not just a journey of the mind, it's a journey of the soul. And I promise you, it's one you'll never forget. Are you ready to discover the secret? Let's begin. Carl Sagan was more than just a scientist. He was a visionary, a man who not only studied the stars, but inspired the entire world to look up at the cosmos with wonder. If you've ever watched Cosmos, you've likely heard his famous line, "The cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff." It's a quote that has stuck with countless people, sparking an understanding that we, the human race, are fundamentally connected to the very universe we gaze upon. But there's more to Sagan's perspective than just science and astronomy. Sagan's love for the universe wasn't confined to the realm of telescopes, mathematics, or scientific discovery. There was something deeper in his approach, something that transcended the physical. It was a spiritual connection to the cosmos that he often hinted at, but didn't fully reveal. It's the sense that the universe, with its infinite stars and galaxies, isn't just a collection of atoms and dust, but something far more profound. And this is where the story takes an unexpected turn. What if I told you that Carl Sagan's perspective on the universe wasn't only shaped by science? What if the way he saw the cosmos was influenced by a much older, spiritual philosophy that has existed for thousands of years? A philosophy that might not only explain the mysteries of the universe, but also the deepest questions of human existence. That philosophy is Buddhism. Now, you might be thinking, what does Buddhism have to do with Carl Sagan, a scientist known for his exploration of the stars? Well, it's a connection that might surprise you. You see, Buddhism, with its ancient wisdom, teaches that everything in the universe is interconnected. From the smallest particle to the farthest star, all things are part of one vast, interconnected whole. This concept of interconnectedness, the idea that everything, from the stars above to the earth beneath our feet, is part of the same cosmic fabric, sounds strikingly similar to what Sagan was trying to convey in his work. Sagan's famous statement that we are made of star stuff echoes the Buddhist teaching that everything is interconnected, that the stars and the earth, and indeed all living beings, are part of the same grand cycle of existence. In Buddhism, this interconnectedness isn't just a scientific observation, it's a spiritual truth. It's the idea that we are not separate from the universe. We are the universe, experiencing itself. And it's in this realization that Buddhism finds its most profound insights about life, death, and everything in between. But what does this mean for you, for me, for all of us? If we truly understand that we are made of star stuff, that our bodies are composed of the same elements that form the stars, then we begin to see ourselves not as isolated individuals, but as part of something much larger. This is where Buddhism provides a key to understanding the universe, not through telescopes or equations, but through a deep spiritual awakening to our inherent connection to everything around us. Buddhism teaches us that everything is impermanent, that the universe is constantly in flux. Stars are born, they live, and they die, and in the same way, so do we. But in this cycle of birth, life, and death, there is a deeper truth that connects us all, the truth of our oneness with the cosmos. Buddhism's teachings on interconnectedness, on the impermanence of life, and on the vastness of the universe align perfectly with Sagan's perspective on the stars. The difference is that Buddhism adds an element of spiritual depth, an understanding that this interconnectedness is not just intellectual, but something that touches our hearts, minds, and souls. Sagan may have been a scientist, but his views on the universe weren't just the result of years of study. They were the result of a deep, spiritual connection to the cosmos, a connection that resonates with the Buddhist secret. And this secret, this understanding that we are not separate from the universe, but are an intrinsic part of it, is a truth that can shift the way we experience life. It can transform our understanding of the cosmos and our place within it. So, the next time you look up at the stars, remember Carl Sagan's words, but also remember that those stars are part of you, and you, in turn, are part of the universe. The Buddhist secret shows us that the stars are not just out there, they are within us. We are made of the same cosmic material. We are all interconnected, and in that realization, we find not just knowledge, but a deeper spiritual truth that can change the way we see the world, the universe, and ourselves. Carl Sagan once said, "The cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff." These words are not just poetic. They reveal a profound truth about the universe, one that bridges science and spirituality in ways that are often overlooked. At first glance, it may seem like a simple scientific statement, but when you dive deeper, you begin to realize how closely it mirrors the ancient wisdom of Buddhism. In Buddhism, one of the core teachings is the concept of interconnectedness, the idea that everything in the universe is fundamentally linked. There's no true separation between the self and the universe. Everything is a part of the same vast, interconnected web of existence. This idea is strikingly similar to what Sagan expressed in his quote. When Sagan said we are made of star stuff, he wasn't just speaking in a literal sense. He was pointing to a deeper, more spiritual truth, that we are intrinsically connected to the universe, not just in a physical way, but on a cosmic, almost spiritual level. Think about it for a moment. The very atoms that make up our bodies were once part of stars that exploded millions of years ago. Those ancient stars scattered their elements across the cosmos, and over time, these elements came together to form the Earth, and eventually, life itself. In essence, we are all part of the same material, the same energy, that once existed in those distant stars. This is a concept that aligns closely with Buddhist teachings, which explain that all things arise from the same fundamental source. Just as a flower blossoms from a seed, everything in the universe arises due to a vast web of causes and conditions. This is known as the law of dependent origination in Buddhism. The law of dependent origination tells us that nothing exists in isolation. Every person, every object, and every event is part of a much larger system of interconnected causes. This is true for the stars, the planets, and even for us. The universe isn't just a random collection of independent things. It is a vast, complex network where everything is interdependent and everything flows from something else. The very fact that we are made of the same elements as the stars is a powerful metaphor for this truth. Sagan's understanding of the cosmos mirrors this Buddhist principle. As he gazed at the stars, he saw not just distant suns, but a reflection of himself. He saw the vastness of the universe as being part of his own being. When he said we are made of star stuff, he was expressing the same insight that Buddhism has been teaching for thousands of years, that we are not separate from the universe. We are an intrinsic part of it. Now here's the truly fascinating part. What if the scientific exploration of the cosmos is, in some sense, just another path toward a deeper spiritual truth? What if, through our search to understand the stars and the galaxies, we are also uncovering the truth about our own existence, about our place in the universe, and about the deep, underlying unity that binds us all together? It's easy to think of science and spirituality as two separate worlds, but the reality is that they often converge in surprising ways. Sagan's work in astrophysics was grounded in science, but his sense of awe and wonder at the universe was deeply spiritual. It was a recognition that the cosmos is not just a scientific phenomenon, it's also a spiritual one. His statement that we are made of star stuff is a reminder that, no matter how much we learn about the universe, we are never truly separate from it. We are connected to the stars, to the planets, to every living thing. This is a fundamental truth, one that is at the heart of both Buddhist philosophy and modern science. So when we look up at the night sky, we are not just gazing at distant stars. We are looking at our own origins, at the very building blocks of who we are. And perhaps, in that moment, we are tapping into something deeper, a recognition of our place in the grand scheme of things, a glimpse of the truth that everything is interconnected. Could it be that our scientific exploration of the cosmos is just another way of uncovering this ancient spiritual wisdom? Could it be that, in studying the stars, we are ultimately discovering the deepest truths of our own existence? The Buddhist secret, after all, is not just about the mind or the soul. It's about seeing the universe as it truly is. One, interconnected and inseparable from ourselves. The more we understand about the cosmos, the more we understand that we are not separate from it. We are part of the same, infinite, ever-changing, ever-evolving system. And in this realization, there is a deep sense of peace and connection that transcends the material world. In Buddhism, one of the most profound and transformative teachings is the idea of interconnectedness. This isn't just a concept reserved for human relationships or our connection with nature. It's a view of the entire universe. It's the understanding that everything, from the tiniest grain of sand on Earth to the farthest star in the sky, is woven into a vast, intricate web of existence. Every thought we have, every action we take, every breath we breathe, it all forms part of this grand, interconnected design. This concept, while ancient, is eerily similar to something Carl Sagan once said: "We are made of star stuff." When Sagan spoke of star stuff, he wasn't just giving us a poetic image of the universe. He was conveying a scientific truth. The atoms that make up our bodies, the molecules that make up the air we breathe, the very essence of who we are, everything comes from the stars. Those stars, in their death, scattered their elements across the cosmos, and over time, that star stuff came together to form planets, life, and eventually us. We are, quite literally, made of the same material as the stars. This scientific view beautifully aligns with Buddhist teachings. In Buddhism, everything is interconnected, and there is no true separation between us and the rest of the universe. The idea that we are separate from nature or from each other is simply an illusion, a product of our limited perception. In reality, we are all part of a single, interconnected whole. Our individual lives are not separate, isolated events, but rather threads in a vast, continuous tapestry of existence. The mountains, the oceans, the animals, the stars, and even the very air we breathe, they are all part of us, and we are part of them. The Buddhist secret is the profound realization that this interconnectedness is not just a philosophical idea or a comforting thought. It is a fundamental truth of the universe. When you truly grasp this, everything changes. The separation you feel between yourself and others, the distance you perceive between yourself and the universe, begins to fade. What seemed like solid boundaries between you and the world around you begin to dissolve. You start to see that the barriers we place between ourselves and others, whether through culture, race, or personal identity, are only temporary constructs. At a deeper level, we are all made of the same cosmic material. We are all star stuff. Once you begin to understand the interconnected nature of everything, you start to realize that every action, every thought, every word you speak ripples out into the world. It doesn't matter how small or insignificant it might seem, everything you do matters. If we are all connected, then our actions affect not only ourselves, but everyone and everything around us. This is the core of Buddhist ethics. Our thoughts and actions are never just about us. They are always in relation to the greater whole, to the universe, and to the interconnected web of life. Imagine, for a moment, that you are standing at the edge of the ocean. You see the waves crashing on the shore, the water flowing back and forth. It might seem like the waves are independent of one another, but in reality, they are all part of the same body of water. The wave you see coming toward you is directly connected to the one that just crashed, and to the one that is about to form. They are all part of the same flow, the same movement of energy. And so it is with our lives. The actions we take, the words we speak, they are all part of the same flow of energy that connects everything in the universe. This realization can be transformative. It's not just about understanding the universe on a conceptual level. It's about deeply feeling and experiencing your place within it. When you understand that you are not separate from the universe, you stop seeing yourself as an isolated individual, cut off from the rest of existence. You start to experience a deep sense of unity and connection with all things. The people around you, the stars above, the earth beneath your feet, they are all part of you, and you are part of them. And in this understanding, the concept of separation fades away. The illusion that we are distinct, that we are alone in the world, gives way to the realization that we are part of something much larger. The boundaries that once seemed so real are shown to be mere fabrications of the mind. This, according to Buddhist teachings, is enlightenment. The realization that all things are connected, that nothing exists in isolation, and that our true nature is one with the universe. So, when Sagan spoke of us being made of star stuff, he wasn't just sharing a scientific fact. He was pointing to something deeper, something spiritual. The truth that we are inseparable from the universe. Everything that exists, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, is connected. And when you grasp this truth, you see that the separation between you and the world is nothing but an illusion. You are the universe, and the universe is you. This is the Buddhist secret, and it is the key to understanding not just the stars above, but the very nature of existence itself. Buddhism teaches one of the most profound and transformative lessons about life. Everything is impermanent. This simple yet powerful concept reminds us that nothing lasts forever, that all things, whether material or immaterial, are in a constant state of flux. The people we meet, the moments we experience, the thoughts we have, everything is in a constant state of change. And the truth is, this is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. Because in the impermanence of life, we find growth, transformation, and renewal. Interestingly, this same truth about impermanence is reflected in the vast, awe-inspiring process of stellar life cycles. Stars, the shining beacons in the night sky, are born from the dust of previous stars. They form, they burn bright with the energy of nuclear fusion, and eventually, they reach the end of their life, collapsing into a supernova in a spectacular burst of light and energy. For a moment, they explode in brilliance, an incredible display of raw power. But this is not the end. No, it is the beginning of a new chapter, a transformation that creates the very elements from which new stars, planets, and life itself can be born. The death of a star is not an end, but a cycle, a transformation, a shift that gives rise to new possibilities, new forms of life, and new energy. Carl Sagan, in his exploration of the cosmos, saw this process of birth, death, and rebirth all around him. He understood that the life cycle of stars was not simply a scientific phenomenon, but a deeply meaningful one. He recognized that stars, like all things in the universe, follow a pattern of impermanence. They burn bright, they shine in all their glory, and then they collapse in a brilliant explosion. And just like stars, everything in our lives goes through cycles of birth, growth, and eventual decay. The things we hold dear, the relationships, the places, the memories, they too will change and fade away, just as the stars eventually fade in the night sky. But this impermanence is not something to mourn. In fact, it is through impermanence that we find the greatest opportunity for growth. In Buddhism, the idea of change isn't something negative, it's something to be embraced. It's through change that we shed the old and make way for the new. The process of transformation is the heartbeat of life itself. It is what allows us to evolve, to learn, and to find deeper meaning in our experiences. Just as the death of a star gives rise to new elements and new possibilities, the endings in our lives make way for fresh starts, for new chapters, and for new opportunities to grow and transform. This idea of impermanence is not just a distant scientific fact or a spiritual teaching. It's something that can deeply affect how we live our everyday lives. When we come to terms with the impermanence of all things, we begin to live more fully in the present moment. We stop clinging to things that are fading away and start to appreciate the fleeting beauty of each moment. We begin to see that everything, from our emotions to our experiences, is part of a larger cycle. And when we stop resisting change, we can begin to flow with life, embracing each phase as it comes. The Buddhist secret is not just about acknowledging that everything changes. It's about understanding that in those changes, there is immense beauty and potential for transformation. Just like the stars that die and are reborn in different forms, we too are part of an ongoing cycle. Every moment, every breath is an opportunity for renewal. The past may be gone, but it is not lost. It lives on in the present, in the lessons we've learned, and the new life we create from it. So, the next time you look up at the stars, remember that they are not just shining points of light in the sky. They are mirrors of the very process of life itself, a constant cycle of birth, growth, transformation, and renewal. And in that cycle, we too are connected, endlessly transforming, endlessly creating, and endlessly evolving. This is the Buddhist secret. seeing the impermanence of life not as a source of fear, but as a gateway to deeper understanding and endless possibilities. The death of a star is not an end, it is a beginning, and so too, every ending in our lives is the beginning of something new. Buddhism offers a powerful and transformative perspective on the mind, one that sees our consciousness not as a passive observer of the world, but as an active participant in shaping our reality. According to Buddhist philosophy, our minds are the lens through which we perceive everything. Every thought, every emotion, every belief we hold shapes the world we see. The teachings tell us that our perceptions are influenced by our desires, our fears, and our attachments, our mental patterns that color our view of reality. The Buddha taught that the root of suffering comes from our mistaken beliefs about the world, about ourselves, and about how things should be. The secret to liberation, then, lies in understanding the mind and the way it creates the world we experience. Interestingly, this idea of the mind shaping reality is not just confined to ancient Buddhist teachings. In fact, it is a concept that resonates deeply with modern science, specifically with the field of quantum physics. You've probably heard of something called the observer effect in quantum physics, a phenomenon that suggests the act of observation itself can influence the outcome of an experiment. In other words, by simply observing, we can change the very nature of what we observe. What's fascinating is that this concept mirrors Buddhist philosophy in a way that could be described as eerily similar. Buddhism teaches that our perception, the way we observe the world, is not neutral. It's shaped by our minds, our mental states, and our internal experiences. In a way, we are not just observing the universe, we are co-creating it with our minds. This brings us to the heart of the Buddhist secret, the realization that the universe, vast and infinite as it may seem, is shaped by how we perceive it. Everything we experience, every moment of our lives, is filtered through the lens of our consciousness. The world outside is not separate from the mind. It is, in fact, intimately connected to it. What does this mean for us in a practical sense? It means that the world we live in is not a static, unchanging place. It's fluid, dynamic, and constantly shifting, just like our minds. The things we see, the situations we encounter, the relationships we have, they are all influenced by how we interpret them in our minds. Our thoughts, our beliefs, and our emotional responses shape the reality we live in. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the edge of a vast, beautiful ocean. You see the waves crashing against the shore, the sky stretching endlessly into the horizon. This is your reality, but the way you experience it is entirely shaped by your mind. If you come to the ocean with a sense of calm and peace, the waves may seem beautiful, rhythmic, and soothing. But if you come to the ocean with anxiety, fear, or stress, the waves may appear turbulent and frightening. The ocean hasn't changed, it's the same ocean, but your perception of it has shifted based on your internal state of mind. This is the essence of the Buddhist secret. The mind is like a mirror. It reflects what is in front of it, but it also distorts and shapes that reflection based on its own internal makeup. If we can change our minds, if we can calm our fears, release our attachments, and let go of our desires, then we can see the world more clearly. We can see it as it truly is, without the filter of our mental projections. And this is where true liberation lies, not in changing the external world, but in transforming the way we perceive it. When we shift our perception, we shift our reality. The universe, in all its vastness, becomes not just a place we exist in, but a place we create, moment by moment, through the lens of our minds. Carl Sagan, in his exploration of the cosmos, was fascinated by the role of consciousness in understanding the universe. He understood that the human mind is capable of perceiving the universe in ways that go beyond the physical. He believed that by understanding the cosmos, we could expand our minds, our consciousness, and our connection to the world around us. But what if Sagan's exploration of the stars was also an exploration of the mind itself? What if, just like in quantum physics, the way we observe the universe influences the very nature of the universe. Could it be that the Buddhist secret is the realization that the universe is not a distant, objective reality to be studied from the outside, but a dynamic, interactive experience that is shaped by the minds that perceive it? When we begin to see the world in this way, the possibilities are endless. We no longer feel powerless in the face of an indifferent universe. Instead, we realize that we are participants in its creation. Our thoughts, our perceptions, our awareness, they are not passive, but active forces that shape our reality. The more we become aware of this, the more we can intentionally shape our lives, our experiences, and our connection to the cosmos. This is the essence of the Buddhist secret, understanding that the universe is not something separate from us, but something we are deeply connected to and actively involved in creating. So, the next time you look up at the stars or ponder the mysteries of the universe, remember, it's not just the universe that's vast and infinite, it's your mind too. And just like the universe, your mind has the power to shape everything you experience. This is the Buddhist secret. It's the realization that the universe is not a fixed, unchanging reality. It's a reflection of the mind itself, constantly shifting and evolving, shaped by our consciousness. And when we come to understand this, we unlock the true potential of our lives. Meditation is one of the core practices of Buddhism, and it's much more than just a way to find peace or relaxation. It's a profound spiritual tool that allows us to quiet the noise of our minds and tap into something far deeper, something that connects us to the entire universe. At its heart, meditation is about letting go of attachments, the things we cling to, the desires, the worries, the expectations, and simply being present. By doing this, we can begin to experience the world in its purest form, uncolored by our mental projections and emotional baggage. And it's through this clarity that we can begin to perceive the interconnectedness of all things. Carl Sagan, the brilliant astronomer, was deeply fascinated by the mysteries of the cosmos. He had a sense that there was more to the universe than met the eye. He once said, "Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known." These words hold within them a truth that resonates with Buddhist teachings. The universe, in its infinite expanse, is filled with mysteries, secrets waiting to be uncovered. But to access these secrets, we must first quiet the mind and clear away the distractions. It's almost as if Sagan was describing the very essence of meditation. Just as Buddhist monks dedicate their lives to the practice of meditation in order to unlock deeper wisdom, so too can we, in our own way, unlock the deeper secrets of the cosmos through quiet contemplation. When we meditate, we shift our awareness from the outer world of constant stimulation to the inner world of stillness and awareness. In this stillness, the universe begins to reveal itself, not as an external, separate entity, but as a dynamic and interconnected web in which we are an integral part. In meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts without attachment or judgment, letting them pass like clouds in the sky. We begin to realize that our thoughts and feelings are not who we are. They are simply passing phenomena. This practice of detachment from the mind's constant chatter allows us to step beyond the illusion of separation and into the realization that we are intimately connected to everything around us. This process is not unlike how Sagan spoke of the universe. He often said that our understanding of the cosmos is not limited to observation through telescopes, but also through the lens of our own consciousness. He believed that by exploring the universe, we could expand our minds and experience a deeper connection to the world. Meditation offers a similar path. By turning inward, we can quiet the mind and expand our consciousness, revealing a deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe at large. Through meditation, we also begin to experience the impermanence of all things, the idea that nothing lasts forever and everything is constantly changing. In Buddhism, this is known as anicca, or impermanence. It's a fundamental truth that everything, our thoughts, our emotions, our experiences, even the stars themselves, is in a state of constant flux. When we meditate, we begin to realize that we are not static beings trapped in a world of fixed and unchanging realities. We are part of a fluid, ever-changing dance of energy and matter that stretches from the farthest reaches of the cosmos to the deepest corners of our own minds. This realization that we are part of the same cosmic web as the stars and the oceans is one of the greatest insights that meditation can provide. As we sit in stillness, we come to understand that the universe isn't some distant, separate force acting on us from the outside. It's a living, breathing entity that we are deeply connected to, both in body and mind. And through meditation, we begin to feel this connection more strongly, recognizing that the boundaries between ourselves and the universe are not as rigid as they seem. There is no true separation. Everything is part of the same interconnected whole. In this sense, meditation becomes a tool not only for finding inner peace, but also for unlocking the deeper truths of the universe. Just as a scientist like Sagan would look to the stars to uncover the mysteries of the cosmos, we too can look inward, to the vast expanse of our own consciousness, to uncover the secrets of existence. The universe isn't something out there, it's right here, within us, waiting to be discovered. And just as Sagan once said that something incredible is waiting to be known, Buddhism teaches us that by meditating, we can discover that the most incredible thing of all is the realization that we are already one with the universe. So, the next time you sit in meditation, take a moment to reflect on this truth. You are not separate from the stars, the earth, or the universe. You are an integral part of it all. And through meditation, you have the power to access this deep, cosmic truth, unveiling the mysteries that lie hidden beneath the surface of your mind, just waiting to be known. The Buddhist secret, then, is not just about peace. It's about unlocking the universe itself, one breath, one thought, and one moment at a time. In Buddhism, there's a concept called shunyata, often translated as emptiness. But this doesn't mean nothingness or a void. It's much deeper than that. Shunyata refers to the absence of inherent, permanent existence in all things. It teaches us that everything around us is empty of its own, unchanging essence. Every object, every moment, every experience is impermanent, constantly shifting and evolving. And when you begin to really understand this, it doesn't make the world seem less real. It makes it more alive, more dynamic. Now you might be thinking, how does this connect to the universe? Let's pause and think about the stars, planets, and galaxies. They're not fixed, unmoving objects. They're in a constant state of change. Stars are born. They burn brightly for millions or even billions of years, and then they collapse, explode, and give birth to new elements. Planets shift in their orbits, and galaxies themselves can merge, collide, and transform. The universe is in constant flux. It's not static. And this is where the concept of shunyata can really help us understand the true nature of the cosmos. The universe, much like everything in our lives, is empty of permanent, unchanging form. It is alive, ever-changing, and always in motion. Carl Sagan, the famed astronomer, understood this idea better than most. He spent his life gazing at the stars, exploring the vast expanse of the cosmos, and what he found was nothing short of awe-inspiring. Sagan believed that the universe was not a static, fixed entity. Rather, it was a dynamic, living thing, expanding, evolving, and transforming with each passing moment. Just like the Buddhist concept of shunyata, Sagan saw the universe not as something that's simply out there, but as something that is constantly changing, something that is part of an eternal cycle of creation, destruction, and rebirth. If we take this idea a step further, we can start to see the universe in a completely new light. The stars are not eternal, nor are they separate from us. In Buddhist teachings, we are reminded that everything in the universe is interconnected. The atoms in our bodies, the particles in the air, and even the energy we put out into the world are all part of the same cosmic dance. We may think of ourselves as individuals, separate from the stars, but in truth, we're made of the same star stuff that Sagan so famously spoke about. Our bodies are literally composed of the same elements that were forged in the hearts of dying stars, elements that have traveled across the universe for billions of years, eventually finding their way to Earth and into us. This is the Buddhist truth of interconnection. There is no true separation. We are part of the same dynamic, ever-changing flow of the universe. Embracing the idea of shunyata, or emptiness, opens our eyes to the universe in a much deeper way. Instead of seeing the cosmos as a fixed, unchanging place with solid boundaries, we begin to realize that it is a dynamic process, an ongoing evolution of energy, matter, and consciousness. This shift in perspective is a powerful one. It helps us break free from the illusion that things are permanent or that they exist in isolation. The stars, the planets, the very Earth we stand on, they're not static. They are not separate from us. They are in constant motion, just like us. When we understand the Buddhist secret of shunyata, we start to see that the universe, in all its vastness, is not a cold, distant thing. It's not something we are separate from. It's not something to fear or to cling to. Instead, it's a living, breathing organism, full of possibility, full of change, and full of potential. And just like the stars, we too are part of this ever-changing flow. We are not fixed entities, but living, evolving beings, constantly in the process of becoming. This realization can be deeply liberating. It allows us to stop clinging to things as if they are permanent or unchanging. We begin to see that life itself is a process of transformation and evolution. And just like the stars that die and are reborn, we too can embrace change and transformation as a natural, beautiful part of existence. The Buddhist secret is about accepting this truth, that everything, including ourselves, is in a constant state of flux, and that's not something to fear, but something to embrace. So the next time you look up at the stars, remember, they are not permanent, nor are they separate from you. They, like you, are in the process of becoming. The universe itself is a living, breathing entity, and we are all part of that process. When we embrace the truth of shunyata, the emptiness of permanent, unchanging essence, we begin to see that we too are part of this ever-changing cosmic dance. We are not just observers of the universe, we are participants in it. And this understanding, this Buddhist secret, has the power to completely shift how we experience life itself. In Buddhism, one of the core teachings is the concept of compassion, what the Buddha called karuna. This is the deep, innate understanding that all living beings, from the smallest insect to the mightiest star, are interconnected and deserve our care. It's not just about kindness or sympathy, it's about seeing the world with the understanding that we are all part of one continuous web of existence. This interconnectedness isn't a nice idea to hold on to in times of peace, but a truth that applies to every moment, especially when times are tough. Carl Sagan, in his exploration of the universe, expressed a very similar perspective, albeit through a scientific lens. He famously said, "For small creatures such as we, the vastness is bearable only through love." These words resonate deeply with Buddhist teachings. They suggest that the overwhelming vastness of the cosmos, with all its chaos, mystery, and wonder, is made bearable not through distance or detachment, but through love. This is a profound insight. In a universe that stretches beyond comprehension, what truly matters, the only thing that gives meaning to our existence, is the love and compassion we share with one another and with the world around us. Imagine, for a moment, that the stars above, the oceans below, and the very air we breathe are all part of the same great fabric of existence. In Buddhist thought, this is the heart of compassion. We are not isolated from each other, or from the earth we walk upon. We are part of one continuous, flowing process that has been unfolding for billions of years. The Buddha's teachings urge us to recognize the deep interdependence of all things and to act with love and care for every living being. When we harm others, we harm ourselves. When we help others, we help ourselves. This isn't just a moral directive, it's a spiritual insight, a recognition of the fundamental nature of reality. Sagan, in his own way, seemed to understand this. He spent his life looking up at the stars, trying to unlock the mysteries of the universe. But what drove him was not just curiosity or intellectual achievement. It was a deep sense of awe, wonder, and compassion for the universe and all its inhabitants. He saw that the cosmos is vast, yes, but it is also fragile. And in that vastness, our greatest strength is love. Love for one another, love for the planet, and love for the universe itself. In the Buddhist tradition, compassion is not a passive emotion. It's an active force that calls us to act in the world, to care for others, and to protect the fragile balance of life. It's about recognizing that every act of kindness, no matter how small, ripples out into the world, touching lives in ways we may never fully understand. But that's the beauty of it. The more we understand the interconnectedness of all things, the more deeply we are called to live with compassion. When we start to see ourselves as part of this grand cosmic dance, just like the stars, the planets, and all living beings, we realize that the love we give to others is not just a gift. It's a participation in the very process of the universe itself. In Buddhism, the idea of interbeing teaches that everything exists only in relation to everything else. Nothing is isolated, nothing is separate. Our acts of compassion are not just moral duties, they are spiritual practices that align us with the very fabric of the universe. Think of it this way. Just as the stars were born from the dust of exploded supernovae, we too are born from the love and care that has been passed down through generations. Every act of kindness, every moment of compassion, is a reflection of the love that exists in the cosmos. And by living with this awareness, by embracing our place in the web of life, we are participating in something much larger than ourselves, something eternal. So, when you look at the night sky or gaze at the earth beneath your feet, remember that love is what binds all things together. The stars, the plants, the animals, and each of us are not separate entities. We are all woven into the same fabric of existence. And through compassion, we are not only enhancing our own lives, but we are also contributing to the well-being of the entire universe. This is the Buddhist secret, a realization that everything, from the tiniest insect to the greatest star, deserves our care and compassion, because we are all part of the same cosmic dance. In the vastness of the cosmos, it is love that gives us meaning, purpose, and connection. And that is the true power of compassion. What does the future hold for humanity? Will we continue to reach for the stars, or will we destroy ourselves before we even have the chance? These are questions that have haunted thinkers, scientists, and philosophers for centuries. One of those who pondered this deeply was Carl Sagan. He wasn't just a scientist, but a visionary who looked at the universe and saw both our potential and our peril. He often warned about the dangers of nuclear war, environmental destruction, and the consequences of our collective neglect. But amidst all this, there was always hope, a belief that humanity could change, could evolve, could find a path to a brighter future. Sagan understood that the future wasn't something predetermined. It wasn't a fate carved in stone, but a series of possibilities shaped by the choices we make today. This resonates deeply with Buddhist philosophy, which teaches that the future is not fixed, that we have the power to shape our own destiny. In Buddhism, this concept is known as karma, not in the popular sense of what goes around comes around, but in the sense that our actions, thoughts, and intentions create the conditions for our future. Just as a tree grows from the seed we plant, so too does our future unfold from the choices we make now. Every action, no matter how small, ripples out into the world, affecting not just our own lives, but the lives of all beings. Carl Sagan shared a similar vision. He didn't just see the stars as distant, cold bodies of gas and rock. He saw them as part of a larger cosmic dance, one that we were intricately woven into. And if humanity was going to continue to thrive, it would need to recognize its place in this dance. We are not separate from the earth or the universe. We are part of it. Our future is tied to the health of our planet, the well-being of every living being, and the choices we make to live in harmony with the natural world. Sagan often spoke of the importance of understanding our interconnectedness, not just to the stars, but to each other. In his mind, the survival of our species depended on our ability to see beyond our individual lives and recognize the web of life that connects all things. This is where Buddhism and Sagan's worldview meet. In Buddhism, the concept of interbeing teaches that everything in the universe is connected. We are all part of one great whole, and when we harm one part, we harm the entire system. The health of the planet, the welfare of others, and our own well-being are all intertwined. If we destroy the environment, we destroy ourselves. If we fail to act with compassion, we fail to honor the web of life that sustains us. But there's hope. Buddhism also teaches that we have the power to change, to transform ourselves and the world around us. The future is not something we inherit passively. It's something we create actively. By embracing mindfulness, by making compassionate choices, and by living in harmony with the world around us, we can begin to shape a future that is brighter and more sustainable. The key is recognizing that we are not isolated individuals, but part of a larger, interconnected system. When we live with this awareness, we begin to see the possibility for change, not just in ourselves, but in the world itself. Carl Sagan believed that humanity had the potential to create a future that was both hopeful and prosperous, but only if we took responsibility for our actions. He saw the dangers we faced, but he also saw the possibility for redemption, for growth, and for a future that embraced the best of human nature. This is the message of hope that resonates in both Sagan's work and Buddhist philosophy. We are capable of change, capable of building a better future, but to do so, we must recognize the interconnectedness of all life and act with compassion, with mindfulness, and with a deep sense of responsibility. When we align ourselves with the cosmic flow of life, we find our place in the universe, not as passive observers, but as active participants in the ongoing story of existence. The future is not something that just happens to us, it's something we create together. And through mindful actions and compassionate choices, we can shape a future where humanity thrives, where the earth heals, and where the universe continues to unfold in all its beauty and mystery. So, what does the future hold for humanity? The truth is, it's up to us. We hold the power to shape it. Through awareness, through compassion, and through a deep understanding of our interconnectedness, we can build a future that reflects the best of who we are and who we can become. The choice is ours, and it starts with each of us making mindful, compassionate choices today. So, how do we apply the Buddhist secret to our everyday lives? It's more than just a set of ideas or ancient teachings. It's a way of living, a way of being fully present in the world around us. The Buddhist secret starts with a deep awareness that everything we do, every thought, word, and action ripples out into the world. Nothing we do is isolated. Every interaction we have, every decision we make, creates a wave that reaches far beyond ourselves. Imagine that every time you speak, act, or even think, you're planting seeds in the universe. Those seeds don't just affect you, they affect everyone and everything you come into contact with. This is the essence of interconnectedness. At the core of the Buddhist secret is the realization that we are not separate from the world or the people around us. We are part of a vast, intricate web of existence. Everything we do matters, and every choice we make has consequences, whether we can see them or not. This idea may sound simple, but its implications are profound. When we live with the awareness of how deeply connected we are to all things, we begin to see the world differently. We understand that our actions, both big and small, contribute to the collective energy of the universe. This awareness doesn't just change how we act, it changes how we see ourselves in the world. And that's where Carl Sagan's perspective on the universe comes in. Sagan, the brilliant scientist, saw the cosmos as a vast, mysterious, and beautiful place, full of wonder and possibility. But he also saw it as a reflection of our own potential for greatness. He celebrated the universe not just with awe, but with a sense of deep respect and gratitude for its beauty and complexity. It's no surprise that Sagan's view of the universe mirrors the Buddhist perspective. Just as Buddhism teaches us to live with mindfulness and to appreciate the present moment, Sagan's view encourages us to pause and appreciate the vastness of existence, right here, right now. Living with mindfulness means being fully present in every moment, no matter how small or mundane it may seem. It means recognizing that each moment, each breath, is part of a larger, unfolding universe. When we focus on the present, we align ourselves with the cosmic order, the natural flow of life. We understand that the universe isn't a distant, abstract concept. It's right here, within us, around us, in every thought, action, and interaction. It's in the stars above and the air we breathe. And when we begin to recognize this, we start to unlock the deepest wisdom that the universe has to offer. But this wisdom isn't just intellectual, it's lived. It's in how we treat others, how we show up in our relationships, and how we care for the planet. Every small act of kindness, every moment of patience, every conscious decision to live with compassion adds to the beauty and harmony of the world. When we act with compassion, we move in rhythm with the universe, and in doing so, we tap into a deeper understanding, one that transcends the physical and touches the spiritual. In Buddhism, compassion is not just a virtue, it's a practice that leads to awakening. To live with compassion means to recognize the suffering of others and to act to alleviate it. It means understanding that the happiness of others is intertwined with our own. When we live with compassion, we begin to see that we are all part of the same journey, the same cosmic dance, and that our well-being is connected to the well-being of others. This is the heart of the Buddhist secret, that when we act with awareness and compassion, we align ourselves with the very essence of the universe. So, how do we apply the Buddhist secret to our everyday lives? It starts with simple awareness, being present in each moment, recognizing the interconnectedness of all things, and acting with compassion in all that we do. By doing so, we not only improve our own lives, we contribute to the harmony and balance of the entire universe. When we live with mindfulness, when we approach life with the same sense of wonder and respect that Sagan had for the stars, we unlock the deepest wisdom that the universe has to offer. And in doing so, we become part of the cosmic order, moving in harmony with the flow of life. This is the Buddhist secret, one that invites us to live fully, deeply, and with purpose. It's a secret that, when embraced, transforms not just how we see the world, but how we live in it. The Buddhist secret is not just some abstract philosophy, it's a deep understanding of who we are, where we fit in this vast universe, and how everything is connected. It's about realizing that we are not separate from the cosmos. We are part of it, woven into its fabric, and every breath we take, every thought we think, and every action we make ripples through the universe in ways we might never fully understand. The Buddhist secret teaches us to see the interconnectedness of all things, the stars, the planets, the trees, the animals, the people we meet, and even the smallest grain of sand. It's all part of the same web of existence. Carl Sagan, the great astronomer, had a similar understanding of the universe. His vision of the cosmos was one of awe, wonder, and unity. He famously said, "The cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff." These words resonate with something deep within us, something that aligns closely with the Buddhist teachings of interconnectedness and impermanence. When Sagan spoke of star stuff, he wasn't just referring to the elements that make up our bodies. He was alluding to something far deeper, a spiritual truth that has been understood by mystics and sages for millennia. The truth is that we are not just observers of the cosmos. We are part of it, and it is part of us. But there's more to it. The Buddhist secret isn't something that can be found in a book or discovered in a temple. It's something we already carry within us. It's in the way we breathe, the way we love, the way we relate to the world around us. It's in the stillness of our minds, in the compassion we show to others, in the mindfulness we bring to each moment. This truth, the realization that the cosmos is not separate from us, is something that we already know deep inside, even if we don't always acknowledge it. In Buddhism, we're taught that everything is impermanent. Nothing lasts forever. This idea of impermanence is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Just like the stars in the sky, we are constantly evolving, changing, and transforming. The Buddhist Secret teaches us to let go of attachments, to accept that change is the only constant in life, and to find peace in the present moment. By doing so, we begin to see life through a different lens, a lens that recognizes the beauty in every fleeting moment, in every tiny change, and in every new beginning. This is where Carl Sagan's cosmic vision aligns perfectly with the Buddhist path. Sagan understood that the universe is always changing, always expanding, and always creating. The death of a star is not the end. It is a transformation, a new beginning. Similarly, in Buddhist philosophy, death is not an end, but a transition, a transformation into something new. Nothing is permanent, and through this impermanence, we find renewal, growth, and the potential for something greater. When we understand the Buddhist secret, we begin to see the universe not as a distant, cold entity, but as a living, breathing, interconnected whole. The stars above us, the ground beneath us, the air we breathe, all of it is part of the same cosmic dance. It's not about searching for some distant truth outside of ourselves. It's about recognizing that truth is already here, in each moment, in each heartbeat. The journey to understand the universe is not just a scientific quest. It's a spiritual journey, one that invites us to explore the depths of our own being, to recognize our connection to everything around us, and to embrace the impermanence that makes life so beautiful. So, how do we begin? It starts with looking up, not just at the stars, but at the world around us. It's about recognizing that the universe, just like us, is always evolving, always changing, always moving forward. The Buddhist secret teaches us to embrace that change, to live in harmony with it, and to find peace in the constant flow of life. The journey to understand the universe is just beginning, and it starts with you, right here, right now. When we align ourselves with the cosmic order, when we live with mindfulness, compassion, and awareness, we unlock the deepest secrets the universe has to offer. This is the Buddhist secret. It's not a distant goal to achieve. It's a living, breathing truth that we carry within us. All we need to do is open our eyes, look up, and realize that the universe, with all its vastness, is already part of us. And in that realization, we begin the most profound journey of all,